Tonight, we have the latest information on the deadly Friday morning shooting in Meridian. And students at a local elementary school were exposed to several different art forms in hopes of creating a spark of interest. And if you're looking to enjoy live music tonight in the Queen City, Full Moon on 5th is kicking off its 2025 season tonight.
With clouds rolling in overnight, we are seeing the chance for rain again on Saturday, as well as a small severe chance. I'll have the details in just a little bit.
From downtown Meridian, this is WTOK News 11 at 6, live and local.
Hello and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Ross McLeod. Early Friday morning, MPD responded to a shooting in the city of Meridian. Acting Captain Darrell Thompson has confirmed killed in the 1600 block of 25th Avenue. MPD says the suspect Corey Cortrell Collins has been caught and is facing a murder charge. Acting Captain Darrell Thompson has confirmed a male was shot and killed in the 1600 block of 25th Avenue, and Coroner Stella McMahon stated the victim's name is Brandon Williams and he is 43 years of age. MPD received a call around 7 o'clock Friday morning about a shooting, and when officers arrived on the scene, they discovered Williams's body suffered from gunshot wounds. According to McMahon, the body is being sent off for an autopsy.
Weather's looking pretty good as we're heading on into the evening. Still sitting in those lower 70s right now. Temperatures still expected to drop a little bit further as we're heading on into the overnight. But another thing, those winds are, well, not terrible right now, but some of us are kicking up there with winds upwards of 5 and 10 miles per hour right now, down from 15 just a little bit ago. Though those gusts are still absolutely kicking out there. Wind gusts upwards of 15 and 20 miles per hour out there. We've seen that throughout the day today, and we'll continue to see that on into the overnight and into your weekend, as well as that cold front makes its way on into our area. Temperatures tonight expected to drop down, not as low as we have seen, but clouds continue to roll back in as we're heading throughout the rest of our evening and into your Saturday morning, only dropping back into those mid and upper 50s overnight tonight. That's opposed to the 40s we were back in over the past few nights. So we're going from chilly over our mornings now to a little bit less chilly there, but we are starting our mornings cloudy for the next couple days as rain moves in for the weekend and does bring with it a small chance of some greater weather with it. That is, as we head into spring break week, though, that will clear up. I'll make sure I have all the details on that clip here in just a little bit because, well, we've got a good bit to talk about. I'll have that in a little bit. Stay tuned.
Thank you so much for that, Zach. And happening now, a community favorite is making its return to the streets of Meridian tonight. Full Moon on 5th is kicking off its 2025 season with a bang. This free event, hosted by the Aces, is a great way to start your weekend off with good food, music, and fellowship. Tonight's concert features a local group called the Livestock Band. The president of Aces is super excited and is inviting everyone to come out and see what Full Moon on 5th is all about.
We've got free live music. We've got entertainment for kids. We've got tonight is the Livestock Band. We've got our country band. A lot of fun. Everybody's going to have a really good time. So we have several food trucks. You'll be able to eat dinner down here or just snack, whatever you want. We'll have Mitchell Distributing and Magnolia Beverage here. Bring your lawn chair if you want to sit down and just hang out.
Full Moon on 5th just started at 6 o'clock and ends at 9 p.m. and is located on 5th Street in downtown Meridian, right next to the Riley Center and Dumont Plaza. Well, students at Northeast Elementary were exposed to many different art forms during its annual Cultural Arts Day. Each student got to experience an art form like music, pottery, floral design, and so many more. The district believes showing students these different art forms is important for their growth in life. Principal Anita Wansley looks forward to this day each year and says she hopes this exposure could spark a dream in a child's life.
One, because we want them to be exposed to the wide variety of arts that are out there. We provide music and art within our school, but there's so many more. And so we want them to be exposed to those things so that they can think about what they might want to do, as well as just expand their knowledge of all the different artists in our community and the different ways to use your gifts and abilities to express yourself through the arts.
Nearly a dozen local presenters and organizations participated in the event by providing demonstrations and interactive activities. Well, 100 plus women who care of East Mississippi, an affiliate of the Community Foundation of East Mississippi, has awarded 3 grants supporting impactful nonprofit organizations in the region. The recipients include the Mississippi Children's Museum of Meridian, Aldersgate Retirement Community, and the Stronger Together Foundation. Members of the 100 plus women organization nominate local nonprofits, and 3 are selected through a lottery system. Well, earlier today, the Meridian Uptown Mall hosted a food truck tour for members around the area to come out and get a taste of what these vendors had to offer. Several food truck operators with big followers across East Mississippi, West Alabama, and locally were in attending serving delicious meals to members of the community. It was a great way for them to network and gain more followers. Johnny Simpkins, owner of Oh My Turkey Leg, says that networking is the only way to build a huge fan base and branch out into different areas.
The thing is about networking, so that's why we're kind of here. We network with some of the local food trucks here in Mississippi and in some of the surrounding areas of our area, because it helps to branch out. I don't want to wear my area out. A lot of people know me there, so it's good to meet other people so that we can work together. That's really the only way that this food truck thing works.
That turkey leg sure does look good. Well, several vendors from across the state were in attendance, as well as their food was one to remember. And now some headlines around the Magnolia State. As the legislative session enters its final month, we're taking a step back from the politics of the tax reform, and we're asking an economics professor what it could mean for all of us and our wallets. Now, the chair of the economics department at Ole Miss is helping us wade through the comparison of the 2 plans. But Dr. Josh Hendrickson notes that the plans are actually relatively similar in many ways. He thinks that the 2 most obvious impacts of either plan would be the increased price at the pump and the reduced taxes on grocery items.
When you get your grocery bill, look at the receipt and see how much you're paying in taxes on that receipt, and think about what these changes would do to that receipt. So if these grocery taxes were to go down, what would that look like for you, and how much extra money would you have to carry around?
Hendrickson notes that the proposals would both result in simplifying some of the state's tax structure, and says they're trying to align particular types of revenue with particular types of spending. One example would be the idea that the more someone is filling up at the pump, the more money they'd be contributing to the upkeep of those roads. Well, after the break, spring break travel is expected to break records this year. Learn how you can be 2 steps ahead before hitting the skies or the roadways.
Thanks for watching WTOK-TV.
Now to some news from around the nation. Spring break kicking into high gear this month, but experts and officials are warning about potential issues with both travel and safety. Brian Abel reports on what you need to know before you book that trip.
City and county officials in Florida are warning potential party goers to think twice before heading there. Meanwhile, the State Department is cautioning international travelers to do the same.
Spring break travel expected to break records again.
We are seeing that travelers are flocking to warmer destinations.
AAA says 3 of the top 4 destinations in the U.S. are in Florida, including Fort Lauderdale and Miami. If you plan on hitting the beach there, local leaders have a message for you.
Worst spring break
ever.
Let's go, let's go.
In a PSA satirizing reality TV shows, the city of Miami Beach warning potential spring break revelers of restrictions and enforcement actions that may damper your plans.
How you guys doing? What's going on?
You're drinking in public. That's not allowed. This speaker, that's not allowed.
Rule after rule after rule.
Expensive parking, curfews, DUI checkpoints, and a heavy police presence are highlighted. It's part of a larger crackdown following the chaos of recent years, including stampedes and 2 deadly shootings in 2023. Further north, the Volusia County Sheriff doubling down on the message for high schoolers heading to popular county beaches like Daytona or New Smyrna.
If they think we're playing here, we're not. We really don't want you here. I'll be honest with you. Nobody wants you here.
There's also warnings for international travelers heading to popular destinations like Mexico. the State Department giving a level 3 travel advisory telling Americans to reconsider travel, with the U.S. Embassy in Mexico saying, because of crime, exercise caution in popular areas like Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and Tulum.
The TSA is also flagging to be prepared for travel with a real ID compliant identification or a passport. And if you are heading to the UK, you must get an ETA. That's an electronic travel authorization if you do not have UK residency documents. It's basically a pre-clearance for travel. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
Well, coming up in sports, Carmen Corley has the latest on the SEC women's basketball tournament. That and more after the break.
Temperatures today took us back into the 70s. We'll continue to stay there over the course of Saturday for a cold front rolls through, dropping us back into the 60s with some rain on the way. I'll have the details coming up here in just a little bit, so stay tuned.
I don't have a high-paying job, but when I got into a serious...
Now, your first alert weather forecast.
Well, another beautiful evening here, especially in downtown. Perfect for full moon on 5th, which you can actually see through our sky cams. Check that out. There in Dumont Plaza, that's full moon on 5th. Got some cops there to keep the traffic out the way there. But other than that, clouds rolling back in. You can see them coming on the horizon there for most of us. A little bit of sunshine still left, but that sun is setting fast. And with clouds settling in for the overnight, we'll drop back into those mid-50s, as I stated earlier, with those clouds keeping us warm through the overnight, leading to a warm start to your Saturday. Temperatures once again leading back into those mid and lower 70s. We're seeing cloudy to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, with rain coming in throughout the afternoon, or more the evening part now than the afternoon, like what we saw yesterday. Now, as for what we're seeing, we are still under that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for tomorrow, but it has been increased from just the southern parts of our southern counties now to basically everywhere underneath I-20 there. So for most of Scott County here, as well as southern parts of Newton and Lauderdale County, south of I-20, as well as continuing for Smith, Jasper, Clark, and Choctaw County. Risks, this is a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk, which is the lowest of the risk categories, but still we are seeing that risk for severe weather for tomorrow. All threats on the table, though all of them are low. Those strong winds and hail seem to be what the SPC is sort of leaning towards in terms of their wordage, though that is still a small risk of this tomorrow, but it should still be taken seriously. This is going to be an overnight event, and with that coming through, could bring some nocturnal disasters that we could not see. I'll show you the timing here. This starts off Saturday 8 a.m. Cloudy to mostly cloudy skies throughout the day. Could have a few breaks of sunshine at some points. This is a view from 2 o'clock where the rain said it would start yesterday. Not anymore. It's starting more close to 7, 8 o'clock, and that's where we're seeing these storms starting to pop up for our more western counties. Rolls on into the 10 o'clock hour. We're seeing that starting to ramp up for the downtown area as well. Now that's kind of coming across now. Some of these storms, or most of these storms, are going to have maybe a little bit more thunder, a little bit more wind, but for most of us, it should just be wind and rain, not really anything severe. The line does start to move through right around the turn of that 11, 12 o'clock hour, though, rolling on in. But once again, with most storms down here in the south, the most severe part is in that leading edge. So once it's passed through out of our area, leading out by 3, 4 o'clock into Sunday morning, threats gone. We're seeing better weather on into Sunday, and especially into Sunday morning, though we could still see some little afternoon showers here behind that main. Things do fortunately clear out as we move on into Monday morning. Check this out. This view from 8 o'clock Monday morning. Clouds clearing out, looks great for spring break week. We're still going to have to contend with the wind, though. Wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour into your Saturday and into your Sunday as well. So hold on to your hats. That's moving through, because even on into Monday, we're going to continue to see those winds on into the overnight and into Monday as well. Winds now out of that northwest, upwards of 20 and 25 miles per hour there as well. So it's going to be windy over the next few days, especially with that rain rolling through. Could have some pretty strong winds with those storms as well as a couple good rumbles of thunder with it. We'll take a look now at our next 7 days, where over the course of Saturday and into Sunday, we're going to be back in those 70s there, and those storms do roll through on the back half of Saturday leading into Sunday morning. Sunday could see some showers mainly in the afternoon there, but no threat there. We're back in those lower 60s for Saturday, mid and upper 60s by Monday, returning there. Looks good for the first part of spring break week. We're back in those mid 70s as early as Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, though, do bring that little chance of rain and storms back, but overall should still find some pretty good weather for your spring break week.
Yeah, tomorrow morning, if you want to go fly a kite, I think it would be a good idea before the storms roll in. You got those high winds. Just go out there and maybe make the best of the high wind. But
maybe so.
Warmer temperatures, spring break is here. I know many people are enjoying that.
And
but
Sunday's daylight savings.
Right. Spring ahead, y'all. But carry an umbrella with you this weekend, just
Certainly.
in case
Definitely
you
a good idea.
stumble upon a few showers. Well, thank you so much
sir.
for that, Zach.
Always.
Well, coming up in sports, Carmen Corley has a preview of the Iron Bowl of basketball going down tomorrow. Details and more after the break.
Sunday, the Braves are live, taking on the Red Sox in a class.
And now News 11 Sports.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's day 3 of the SEC Women's Tournament, and things are heating up as the quarterfinal games are being played. Let's check out some of the scores from today's matchups. First game of the day, first-ranked South Carolina taking on 8th-ranked Vanderbilt, and the Gamecocks come away with the win 84-63 over the Commodores. 4th-ranked Kentucky taking on 5th-ranked Oklahoma, and the Sooners pull out a win in a close one over the Wildcats, 69-65. Underway now, the 6th-ranked Ole Miss Lady Rebels are taking on the 2nd-ranked Texas Longhorns. As it stands, Texas leads 47-38 in the 3rd. And capping off the night, 3rd-ranked LSU and 11th-ranked Florida will battle it out on the court at 7:30. As of now, the Gamecocks will face the Sooners tomorrow, and the winner of Ole Miss Texas will take on the winner of LSU Florida. Tomorrow is part 2 of the Iron Bowl of basketball. 7th-ranked Alabama will travel to take on 1st-ranked Auburn. This game will close out the regular season and is a rematch from Game 3 weeks ago that the Tigers took 94-85. But now Auburn is coming off of a rare loss as they dropped their first SEC road game to Texas A&M on Tuesday. Bruce Pearl's squad has already locked up the #1 seed in the SEC tournament, but don't think they aren't playing for anything. It's senior day, and the win would make the Tigers the winningest team in Auburn basketball history, passing the 2021 team. Here's Alabama head coach Nate Oates throughout on Saturday's matchup.
And most of all, we just got to get our confidence back that we can play with the best teams in the country, like we've shown we could. And we knew this stretch was going to be tough, but we didn't expect to take as many losses as we had. So, we just tried to encourage our guys to focus on the stuff they can control, and let's worry about that. The final score take care of itself at the end. Thought we had a pretty good practice day. I thought our guys were pretty resilient. Thought their energy was good. So, and Auburn's good. They play great at home. I think 82-6 under Coach Pearl against teams ranked in the top 25 since he's been there, which I don't know if you're going to find too many records better than that. We'll go down there. I think our guys will be ready to go, and it'll be a good game in my opinion. It usually is between us and them, and after that, whether we win or lose, we'll be ready to go following week for the SEC tournament to see what kind of draw we get after Saturday.
Tip-off is set for 1:30 tomorrow in Auburn. And the Pelicans fell to the Rockets Thursday night and prepped to face them again tomorrow in Houston. The difference in last night's game was the 3rd quarter. The Pelicans took a 3-point lead into the break and came out of halftime pretty flat on offense. The Rockets outscored the Pels 33-15 in the 3rd. That was the only quarter of last night's game that the Rockets outscored the Pels, and they suffered a 4-minute scoring drought near the end of the 3rd, creating a deficit they just couldn't climb out of. Head coach Willie Green says that 3rd quarter was the difference in the game.
They're in the guys, they're rotating, they're trying to run us off the 3-point line. So that's when we have to be more poised and shot fake, drive, trust the pass. Only 17 assists tonight, so low assist game for us. And that's really about us being able to get on the floor, be poised, trust, shot fake, drive, kick. I didn't think we did enough of that.
The Pelicans will be back in action against the Rockets tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can catch that game on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. And coming up, Wisconsin may be the dairy capital of the world, but this year's top cheese hails from Connecticut. More on the delicious snack after the break.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
We'll take one last look now at your next 7 days. Temperatures on into Saturday take us back into the 70s there. Rain rolls in through the evening, especially around the dinner time hour, rolling in through the overnight. Though Sunday could also see some showers in the PM hours as well. It takes us back into those lower 60s though behind that cold front. We're back in the upper 60s and back into the 70s by Monday and Tuesday, making for great weather for spring break.
Alrighty, well, the 2025 U.S. Championship Cheese Contest was held in Wisconsin this week, and for the second year in a row, an aged Gouda from Connecticut took the top spot. Lake County Dairy in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin finished second, runner-up for its organic Copper Kettle Parmesan, and there were more than 2,400 entries across 117 classes, and from 31 states. Cheesemakers from Wisconsin did lead the competition with 55 best of class gold medals.
Wow.
All right. I asked this question before we came out of break, and what's your favorite cheese, Zach?
I may be biased. I like the Edam cheese that Mississippi State makes, but
That's
overall, provolone is
good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm cheddar all the way.
Just
I have
cheddar?
like a fresh block of cheddar. I grate it for everything.
I like, you mentioned it, goat cheese is good. Parmesan
On a
is also really
charcuterie
good.
board?
Yeah.
So good.
Brie. Oh,
Yes.
I just like cheese. You have a good night. Come back at 10.